Hey everyone, today we want to do an update video on what happened to Boo and Cece. We had to wait for probably about 3 weeks until he can be seen by a dentist. When we finally got Boo to the dentist, she told us that Boo would probably need to extract about 10 to 15 teeth because there were signs of gum recession and redness and also the bad breath. I was shocked because I brush his teeth diligently every day, and the last time that I brought him to a dental cleaning, which was about 1 year and 9 months ago, his teeth were in pristine condition and he only had to extract 2 tiny lower front teeth. The guilt was overwhelming. I kept blaming myself for waiting too long to get his teeth cleaned. Anyway, so I went ahead to schedule the appointment, which was unfortunately another 2 weeks of waiting. So when we were waiting for Cece tore her CCL while running around the house, I was busy in the kitchen, so all I heard was her excited barking. The sound of her zooming around. She ran to the kitchen and then ran back to the bedroom. I don't know what happened after that, but when she came back to the living room, she started limping and she couldn't bear weight on her right hind leg. I immediately knew something was off because she has never limped before, despite being diagnosed with low-grade patellar luxation, which is a very common problem in Pomeranian, and it basically means that the kneecap slides out of place every once in a while, and most of the time, it's just a condition that you just monitor. Unless they progress to higher grades and start showing signs of frequent lameness, then maybe a surgery is needed. I immediately took her to the vet the next day. They took an x-ray the day after and she was diagnosed with a torn CCL. We kind of suspected that she tore her CCL during this specific moment when she ran recklessly to the kitchen and stopped abruptly to change directions, but we will never know for sure. I was devastated. Even though we always joke that Cece is a couch potato, she also enjoys running around the house, playing with her brother, and jumping on our lap to greet us every time we come back home. And the thought that she would be able to do any of this in the foreseeable future just broke my heart. I immediately reached out to all the reputable orthopedic surgeons in New York City, but unfortunately, all of them are booked up for the next 3 weeks. So in the meantime, Cece has to be on pain med and try to limit her movements. It's killing me every day to see how she struggles to walk around and do simple things, and how the pain is taking the life out of her. So I was already emotionally drained from having to wait for the specialist for 3 weeks, and I was under a lot of stress to keep her still. And about a week after Cece tore her CCL, I had to bring Boo in for his dental cleaning. And since the vet already anchored in my mind that Boo would probably need to extract 10 to 15 teeth, I had time to mentally prepare and came to terms with that. There was a lot of guilt, obviously, but there was no turning back. So I just accepted it. Promised myself to bring him to his dental cleanings more frequently from now on. So I arrived early at the vet, filled out the form, and specifically instructed the vet to proceed with whatever was best for Boo without the need to call me for my permission, because I trust the vet 100%. So I wasn't expecting a call at all. However, around the time when I expected him to be under anesthesia, I received a call from the vet, and immediately I had a sinking feeling that something wasn't right. The vet informed me that the x-ray showed no bone left under the gum to support Boo's teeth, and they recommend removing all of them. I was completely shocked. I cried a lot and left feeling confused and frustrated with myself. Confused because his teeth were in a very good condition at his last dental cleaning, and I thought I'd been taking good care of his teeth by brushing them daily. Frustrated with myself because I felt like it was totally my fault for failing to get him the dental care he needed in a timely manner. So I was nervously waiting and praying that the surgery went well, because removing all the teeth all at once is a big deal. The vet finally called me and informed me that the surgery was a success. I seized this opportunity to inquire about why Boo's teeth had taken such a drastic turn. So the vet reassured me that she believed I had done everything in my power to care for Boo's teeth, and she could tell that I was diligent in brushing them, which likely helped delaying the progression of the disease, noting that Pomeranians are highly susceptible to dental problems. I was skeptical of her explanation. I thought that she only said that to make me feel better. So I requested her to send the radiographs to me. When I shared Boo's x-ray with my friend, she was actually in complete shock. She said that this is a very rare case that was caused by his bad genetics. She went on to explain how Boo suffered from severe bone loss. These empty spaces that you see here in his x-ray should be bone instead. So this is a photo of what normal looks like for your reference. Notice how there's no space under the teeth and the bone is full. She went on to explain that the empty spaces where the bone has receded will house bacteria. She also told me that my frequent brushing actually shows, given how healthy his poke, his crown enamel, and his root enamel look on radiographs. So basically, she had the same opinion with the vet. The only difference is she explained it a lot better, of course. But even after hearing a vet and my friend in science confirming that it was probably due to his genetics, I still felt a lot of guilt because I still strongly believe that if I brought him in, let's say a year earlier, we could have saved some of his teeth and at least slowed down the inevitable. Eating and playing with toys are basically his life. How can he enjoy his normal life without his teeth now? I don't know. I just feel so bad, and it's a little bit too late to fix my mistake. Anyway, I rushed to pick him up as soon as the vet gave me the green light. By then, he was already awake and walking on his own. The vet tech mentioned that he immediately took treats upon waking. Despite feeling a lot of pain and guilt deep down inside, I couldn't help but laugh at that moment and said, yeah, that sounds like him. However, when he got home and tried to drink water, he stood there, confused, unable to do so without his teeth. My heart shattered as I watched him struggle. After that, he slept most of the time, still groggy from the anesthesia. He only woke up when he heard me preparing dinner. I got soft food for him, and he ate without any issue. Eventually, he figured out how to drink water again, which made me feel a little bit better. However, as I was filming him drinking water, I noticed blood coming from his right eye. I couldn't believe in my eyes and immediately panicked. After composing myself, I gently cleaned the blood around his eyes and massaged the area to alleviate any discomfort. The bleeding stopped, but I couldn't shake off the worry. I decided to monitor his condition closely and reach out to my vet for advice. I also continued to massage his eyes while doing research online to see if this is an emergency. So apparently it could be that a blood vessel bursted, as he was under a lot of stress and trauma earlier today. So I felt better and decided to let him rest at home instead of rushing to the ER. The next morning, the vet called and reassured me that since it's only a one-off incident, it should not be a cause for concern. He explained that since the eyes, the nose, and the mouth are all connected, especially when his face is so tiny, it could be a little bit of blood everywhere. So anyway, that's a relief. Actually, Boo is recovering really nicely. This is Boo after 2 weeks of surgery. So that's where we are now after weeks of waiting. Cece should have her surgery soon. For today's video, we'll keep you updated on Boo and Cece's recovery progress and share valuable insights along the way. Actually, I'm planning to make a video on the telltale signs of dental disease and also another video documenting Cece's recovery progress from her CCL and patellization surgery to hopefully help other dog owners who are going through the same thing. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next update video.